Hi friends, welcome to my videos. So in this video we are gonna discuss about Canada spouse sponsorship inland versus outland. So when it comes to sponsoring your spouse in Canada, people do discuss about this topic, whether they should do inland, outland, advantages, benefits, limitations, and so many other questions. So we are gonna cover that in this video. So before I proceed further, if you have not already subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and subscribe because I regularly upload videos on your demands. And if you have any concern, any question, anything that you want to ask, you are welcome to put as a comment. And also let me know what exactly would you like to watch in future videos so that I can try to accommodate them in my future videos list. Alright, so let's proceed. So here at the first screen itself, I have written inline means in Canada, outland means out Canada. So this is with respect to your spouse. If he or she is in Canada and you are sponsoring her while she or he is living inside Canada, then it is called inland. And outland is just opposite. Your spouse or partner is not in Canada, they are at a different country in the world and you are going to sponsor. Of course you as a sponsor have to be in Canada if you are a permanent resident, and if you are a citizen you have the flexibility to live out of Canada while sponsoring, but you need to prove that you will come back to Canada after this process. All right, so let's go ahead and explore these two processes. So, the first key difference I would like to hear is the availability of open work permit. So, this is only applicable to inland applicants. So, this is for the person being sponsored, your spouse, after 4 months of initial application. So, let me tell you why it is beneficial. Because suppose your spouse is living here in Canada along with you, but before work rights, he or she cannot work anywhere. But because of the availability of open work permit, while the sponsorship application is in process, and once the open work permit is granted, he or she can work and contribute to the family. So this is a benefit, and this is definitely not applicable for outland applicants, because if your spouse is out of Canada, then uh, like they are not in Canada, so they don't need a work permit because they are not even in Canada. So this question is not even applicable to them. So this is a key difference. Let's explore more. Now, a key question comes most often, that what is going to be the validity of this open work permit? So this open work permit is going to be valid throughout the application process, and even if due to whatever reason the inland application is refused, it still is gonna be valid till its expiry date. So this is a good benefit, of course it is. One more aspect of this open work permit is, while your spouse is in Canada and got this work permit, this is going to make sure that he or she maintains their legal status in Canada. For example, if let's say if they're visiting Canada and you guys got married, and we know that on a visitor visa you can on a single visit maximum you can stay up to 6 months. Of course there are chances of extending it, there is a process, but while the process is on, like when you got this open work permit, that means you are living and working legally here. That's going to be counted under the legal work. So that is something that is really benefit, that helps you to maintain you, actually that helps your spouse to maintain his or her legal status in Canada while the process is on. Okay, another aspect is living together. Well, this is a benefit of inland application. Like if your spouse is living with you while the process is on, this is something you would really love to have, because who would like to live apart from their loved ones after marriage? Of course, not anybody. So when your spouse is living with you and got an open work permit and he or she can do work, that's a really good aspect. So this is the benefit of inland application. But yes, in inland application your spouse needs to stay with you. Okay, so spouse needs to live with you. This is not applicable for outland applicants, because in outland your spouse is out of Canada, so you need to prove your relationship, you need to prove your marriage and partnership and other things. But yes, this is clearly evident that you are not living with your spouse, so this living together clause is not applicable. Now let's go to the processing time, that how long it takes to process your application. So as per recent update from IRCC, the processing time has been displayed as 12 months for both inland and outland applications. Of course, this is not a fixed time and processing times vary case by case. So when you apply for an application, actually nobody can tell you exactly how many days your application is gonna take. Earlier, inland applications used to take longer, but now because of new process and new initiatives taken by the government, um, the processes have been streamlined and they need 12 months to process. Of course, this may sound you way more because you may compare it with other visa applications like visitor work permit and say that even these applications can be finalized in a short period of time, why not this? But yes, the processing time has been reduced. The government has done work in this area. So now it's 12 months for both inland and outland. And as I said, this is going to vary based on case by case. So when you apply, there is no guarantee how much time it's going to take in your case. All right. All right, now one misconception about inland application is traveling abroad. So one of the mandatory requirements of inland applications is that you have to live with your spouse. So many people fear if they go out of Canada for some time, but because they think that it may consider that they are not living together and then it will be put under a question mark. Well, this is not exactly true. What you can do, like you can have very short trips, like if you have to do something urgently, but don't make it a very long or lengthy trip so that there could be questions about your relationship, because we know the inland requirements. Another thing you need to consider, that once you are out of Canada, then how would you come back? So this is also very important, like do you have the permit to come back to Canada, do you have your work permit and other documents that you need to travel to Canada? So these are certain things you need to keep in mind if you're planning to go out of Canada while you are inland. For outland trips, for outland also, like people, especially permanent residents, fear that if they go and meet their spouse during this, what will happen to their application. But I know people, those who have gone for short trips, very short trips to meet, and in this way they have managed. So these are the things you need to keep in mind and proceed accordingly. Now uh, what about the landing process? Because once your application is approved and your spouse has received the landing document, so there are two things. If you're outland, then they get it in a mail, I mean when they complete the process. So that document they need to carry along with their passport. And sometimes if they're calling if they're coming from a country which is not visa exempt, they get a counterfoil single entry visa issued as well, so that they need to come. So when they come here, they just into Canada through any airport or any crossing. So in this way, they get their landing process done and they become permanent residents. But for inland, the process is slightly different. For inland applicants, they actually get appointments in their nearby major cities to attend, and after that appointment, they get their landing document. One more thing, like sponsors have to be present for inland landing. This is not a requirement for outland landing, because in outland landing your uh, sponsored person, the principal applicant, gets the COPR document, and then when they come in, they activate it at the border, and then that's it, they manage to enter the country. So with this we have captured the major aspects of inland and outland processes. Before I close, one more thing, like people think that those who are living in Canada inland cannot apply outland. No, this is not true. The choice is totally up to you. If somebody is living in Canada and their sponsor want to sponsor them, I mean legally living in Canada, So it's up to them. They can go back and apply at their Outland, I mean from their own country, and if they want to apply from here, then apply from here. But of course, they got to consider other factors also, and there could be many circumstances. So based on that, you need to find out what suits you. So I hope you like this video. Make sure to give it a like and comment. And if you have any concern, any question, anything that you want to ask, you are welcome to ask. And thanks for now.